Herzlich willkommen zur NRW Late Night und ich kann euch sagen, ich habe mich schon sehr lange darauf gefreut, auf den Gast in der heutigen Sendung, auf Ben Glover, der aus Neuseeland angereist ist, denn er hat wunderschönen Wein mitgebracht, also sieht nicht nur schön aus, sondern schmeckt auch lecker, das werden wir euch gleich noch mal ein bisschen präsentieren. Thank you so much for traveling all the way from New Zealand to be here. We're very honored to have you here today. Ben, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. It's great to be here.
Great. So do we Germans have some good wines too, though, right? Not only you guys in New Zealand,
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
Almost as good.
Why is your wine better than the German wine? Why would you say?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's better. I think they're just all slightly different. So New Zealand is two skinny islands, quite close to the Antarctica. So we've got quite cool climates, and that just provides really fantastic fruit characters and aromatics.
Also ich habe gerade als Anfangsfrage gestellt, warum die deutschen Weine nicht so gut sind wie die neuseelischen Weine, und er hat gesagt, natürlich sind sie auch gut, aber es liegt an dem Klima in Neuseeland. Ich habe gerade ein Bild von Neuseeland im Vergleich zu Deutschland mal hingestellt, und da ist es einfach ein bisschen kühler als hier in Deutschland, und deswegen wird das alles ein bisschen fruchtiger bei den Weinen. Let's start from the beginning. You grew up on a farm in Marlborough in New Zealand,
yes.
And you didn't start learning to grow wine with your father. You had sheep and cows and...
Yeah, I grew up on a dairy farm, so I spent a lot of times feeding out, milking cows until I was about 13. And then we sold the dairy farm and we planted grapes. So the following year I was weeding vines and learning about viticulture.
And it's probably a good age to do that. At 14 you can start eating grapes and drinking wine at that age.
Well, I think you had no idea that you were actually part of a family slave labour system.
Oh, okay. Also er ist aufgewachsen in Marlborough in Neuseeland und war damals aber auf einer Farm von seinen Eltern, also mit Kühen und Schafen, und irgendwann, als er 13 war, da musste er auch immer sehr, sehr früh aufstehen und arbeiten, und als er 13 war, hat der Vater alles verkauft und hat dann Trauben angebaut. Do you remember why your parents decided to change from dairy to grapes?
Yeah, it was at a time when grape growing was becoming quite popular and probably quite profitable in those mid to late 80s for Marlborough, and it really changed the face of the valley floor, really, and so it became quite a lucrative farming proposition.
So when was the first time you had a glass of New Zealand wine, or at least a taste of New Zealand wine, and thought, this is something that I want to spend my life with?
Well, it was probably over a few beers at university. So I sort of got that farming background from growing up on a farm with my family and with three other brothers and sisters, and then went to university and didn't really know what I wanted to do, but ended up working in a restaurant and in a bottle shop and a wine bar, and you sort of got the bug on that side of it, and you also had the learnings from being at home working in the vineyard. And
did you have to get up when you're working in the dairy farm? You had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Is that the same when you're working on the grape farm?
No, you're not quite as getting up at Sparrowfart like you are with dairying. Yeah, no, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, morning milking and night milking. Ooh. And so this was probably a lot better off for my father as well. He could sleep in finally after 25 years of milking cows.
Sounds good. Also er musste damals auf der Farm mit den Kühen, musste er schon morgens um 4 aufstehen. Mit 13, 14 wurde es dann einfach ein bisschen später, und dann hat er sich entschieden, eben nicht auf der Farm zu bleiben, sondern erstmal zu studieren, und hat dann aber Wein kennengelernt, als er in einem Restaurant gearbeitet hat. So when did you decide, this is my thing, I'm going to start making wines and I'm going to become a wine expert?
Probably when I was in my early 20s, yeah, just out of university, and then did a couple of years cruising around the northern and southern hemisphere, so into Apulia, in the heel of Italy, Western Australia, Sonoma Valley in California, yeah, and Burgundy, and then some vintages back at home on the southern side. So, and that was probably a couple of years, and then I was into it. Fully employed and paid up.
Sounds good. It's a good job, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. It's diverse.
Because you get to travel a lot as well, or is it also because you get to drink all the time?
Drink all the time, yeah.
That's what people think, right?
Yeah.
But it's not that way.
It's a lifestyle. So you looking inwards from the out, it is romantic, and it certainly has its fun, and no day is different. But you're making an agricultural elixir, effectively. So, you're playing on the climate and the rain and the weather, and every year is different.
But one does have to say that in the last at least 10 years that the wines from New Zealand have become very, very popular all over the world. Why do you think that? Why do you think things have changed? Why do you think like people in Italy actually will order a bottle of New Zealand wine when they're in Italy?
Yeah, I think it's got something to do with quite a unique climate, and I think New Zealanders and their pioneering spirit. So it was a bit of a punt when they planted Sauvignon Blanc. So that was the other key, that variety. That amazing Sauvignon Blanc variety that we have in Marlborough in New Zealand, and it just seemed to click, and that happened in about 84, 85 when a couple of wineries, early pioneering wineries, took a couple of bottles to a UK competition and trade show, and it just wowed the audience and the judges and the media at the time, and it just took off.
I'm going to do some heavy translation now because I forgot to do that in the middle. Also, als aus der Uni gekommen ist, hat er viel gereist, war in Kalifornien zum Beispiel und auch in Italien und auch in Australien und hat sich da informiert und hat gelernt, dass er einfach mit Weinen zu tun haben will. Das ist auch nicht nur ein Job, der von außen vielleicht sehr romantisch aussieht, aber auch ein sehr harter Job, weil da geht es ja auch wirklich um, wie Sachen wachsen und dass sie gut wachsen, dass das Wetter mitspielt. Ich habe dann gefragt, warum er glaubt, dass zum Beispiel auch sogar in Italien oder auf der ganzen Welt die Leute neuseelischen Wein gerne trinken. Er sagt natürlich, weil es gut schmeckt und weil 84, 85 ein paar Pioniere aus Neuseeland die Weine mit nach England gebracht haben zu einem Contest und da haben die Leute gesagt, ha, das ist ja wirklich sehr, sehr guter Wein. Vor allen Dingen Sauvignon Blanc anzubauen, ist auf jeden Fall was sehr Interessantes. We will be talking about the wines that you brought here today, the one that has also won a wonderful prize. It's great to have you here today. We're going to take a short break and then we'll be back in a minute mit Ben Glover von Mudhouse Wines. Und was das zu bedeuten hat, das werde ich euch auch gleich erklären. Also bleibt auf jeden Fall dran. Nach einer kurzen Werbepause sind wir wieder zurück.